Time is what we need the most, but what we use the worst. Hi, I'm Nazim Hassan. I'm a productivity nerd, the founder of Productivity Pod, and a full-time master student. So today we'll be talking about the three myths when it comes to productivity. The first myth is I do not have time. I've been there, we've all been there where we've been constantly telling ourselves we do not have time. And I also always thought that being busy is equal to being productive. And it's only when I read in the book Mountain is You that being busy doesn't actually equate you being productive. It means you have poor time management skills. So the myth of time, that we do not have time. Let's say if I were to tell you that I'll give you 30,000 rupees if you do that skill, if you learn that skill despite of your schedule, you will always make time here. So the key is making time, is to prioritize time. So if we sit and wait saying I do not have time, we'll never get to where we want to go. But we have to make time for the things. We have to make time for our priorities. We have to make time for studies. We have to make time for our side hustles. We have to make time for reading and your business and so on and so forth. So the myth of time. The second thing is the myth of motivation, where you have always you're telling yourselves, I've been telling myself that I'll do certain things when I feel like. Okay, I'll record this video when I feel like. But you might, at times you might feel like, but most of the time you don't. So that's a myth where you always think that, okay, when I feel productive, when I feel like doing something, I'll do it. That's a myth. You always have to have a certain level of discipline where you do things. Okay, when you decide to record a video, you have to develop a certain discipline where you sit down and start recording and do not wait for motivation. The third myth is the myth of multitasking. I've been there where I always thought doing multiple things at the same time is what productive actually mean, and later on only I figured out that it's not about doing multiple things, it's about doing one thing right. It's about doing one thing in the most highmost focus, where you are in a flow state and so on and so forth. So it's not about you multitasking, it's about being efficient whatever you're doing. So the three myths are the myth of time, the myth of motivation, and the myth of multitasking. So let's break all of these myths and become the most productive version of ourselves. And thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.